Let's take a look at the main musical genres for the piano through the years, starting over 400 years ago all the way to the present day. We're going to start off with Baroque music, which spanned from around 1600 to 1750. Here's a short example. Like many other Baroque pieces, that will have originally been played on a harpsichord because the piano wasn't invented until the year 1700. Baroque music is characterised by use of ornamentation, which is when you have these trills and turns like this. Counterpoint melodies, which is where the melody moves between the left and the right hands. Continuous rhythmic drive with little or no rests, as well as harmonies which are simpler compared to later periods of music. This next piece by Bach, who is perhaps regarded as the greatest Baroque composer, was written for the organ. But I've included it because for those of you that might think that you don't know any Baroque music, you will have definitely heard this. Yeah? I'd be surprised if you hadn't heard that before. So this piece is about 10 minutes long, but let me quickly show you a short passage. First of all, because it sounds really cool, but also you can really hear the counterpoint melodies as well as the continuous driving rhythm. If that was played on an electric guitar, it would basically be a rock solo, wouldn't it? And this is a piano arrangement of perhaps one of the most well-known Baroque pieces, Pachelbel's Canon, which goes like this. Then we move on to the classical period, which was from 1750 to around 1830. And one of the most famous classical composers was Mozart, who wrote this. Here we have a clear melody in the right hand with supporting chordal harmony underneath. And we can also see contrasting moods within classical pieces as well. Another example is Beethoven, who wrote probably one of the most well-known piano pieces ever. Again, use of repeated melodies or themes, supported by relatively simple harmony. He also wrote this. Classical music also explores much more use of dynamics, because the pieces have been written on pianos, which, unlike harpsichords, could play quietly and loudly. By the way, if you're enjoying this, don't forget to hit that like button, as well as subscribing and bopping that funny little bell button so you don't miss out on any of my videos, which are usually released once a week. Next came the Romantic period, which was from 1830 to 1900. And here we can see the use of more complex chords and harmonies, expressive use of tempo and dynamics, as well as the wide range of the keyboard being explored. Another characteristic of the Romantic period was long emotional melodies. We can also see more chromatic dissonance in the harmonies, which you can hear in Debussy's Clair de Lune, which also links in with the Impressionist era, which was from 1890 to 1920. At this same time, we have blues music emerging onto the mainstream, and ragtime, which was popular from about 1890 to 1920, is considered a fusion of European classical music and African influences, with a particular focus on rhythm and syncopation, one of the most famous ragtime pieces being The Entertainer by Scott Joplin. Blues piano is characterised by specific chord progressions, for example the 12-bar blues, syncopated or offbeat and swinging rhythms, flattened or aka blue notes, and improvisation. Like all styles of music, blues music also evolved into other niches, like New Orleans, and slow blues. By the way, I do have 2 blues piano courses over on my website. One is a beginner blues course and the other is in the slow blues style, which is a bit more advanced. I'll leave links for those in the description below if you wanted to check them out. From the 1920s onwards, we have jazz music emerging. For example, Take the A Train by Billy Strayhorn, first made famous by Duke Ellington. Here we see much more exploration of rich sounding chords, chord extensions and dissonance in the harmonies, with artists putting their own takes on what are known as jazz standards. From the 1950s and 60s, modal jazz was born, with artists like Bill Evans and trumpeter Miles Davis. So What being a very popular track. Obviously, in the 20th century, piano and keyboard is used a lot in pop and rock music. But this video is more focused on music with piano taking the centre stage, rather than vocals. But you can still see some great examples of piano taking leading parts in more modern music. For example, so from here, we are going to jump to contemporary piano music, with it being used all the time in film and television soundtracks. You will hear many classical and romantic elements in today's theme tunes that you hear in the cinema and on the telly, and this is because they're influenced by the past, like everything in life. And this brings us around to the New Age and Neoclassical era, with composers such as Ludovico Einaudi. Or another one of the most famous recent contemporary piano pieces would be River Flows Anew by Urema. So I am aware that there were many styles of piano music that I had to leave out, with lots of different niches within each genre. But I just wanted to give you an overview of piano music through the ages in general. But were there any periods or styles of piano music that you thought should be in the video? If so, please do let me know in the comments. If you're interested in learning piano using a simple step-by-step approach, then you may want to check out my range of online piano courses. I've got courses on blues, jazz, sight reading, ear training, as well as my ultimate piano chords course. So there's something for everyone. I'll leave a link for those in the description below. Anyway, that's all. I really hope you enjoyed watching this. I've been Arthur from Birds Piano Academy, and thanks for watching.